Did you know that ants stretch when they wake up in the morning? Alright, I'm going to start the Windows XP computer. And this is the, I don't know if it's upside down or what, my eyesight is bad, I can't tell. Yeah, this is right side up. I want to measure the current that the external hard drive, that 40 gig, because some of you people out there have expressed, made comments about perhaps this thing is drawing up to 1 amp. Now these USB things are supposed to be designed for about a ½ amp, 500 milliamps. On the XP I've only got the one rear jack, because the USB on the front here is broken. I got this computer from a friend of mine a couple years ago, and I put 2 gigs of memory in this from another old computer I had. The memory worked luckily, but the USB port, you got to lift the plug up to hold it, to power it on. So it's only got one USB on the front. Boy, doesn't that look good? So I'm going to plug the drive in. So I'm going to get the drive now, and I'll join you in a minute here. Now, before I get the drive out and plug it in here, I'm reading 5.19 volts on the USB here. Now, just for the heck of it, I'm going to plug it into my Windows 7, 4.96. And the other jack, 4.9. That's on the Windows 7. But we're going to see what the current is on the Windows XP, because it runs great on Windows XP. So we're not going to try to measure the current here. I'll plug in the drive into here and we'll show you what the current is going to be. It's plugged in. It's spinning. Found new hardware, because I'm using a different USB. Each time you use a different USB jack, see, I have 2 jacks on the back of this thing, and one for the wireless, which I unplugged the last time. This is just an open one. But anyways, it's drawing 0.20 amperes. 0.15. It's not really drawing that much. 0.16 amperes right now. So it's 100 and, if you read that, it's 160 milliamps. So not even a quarter of an amp. And the voltage is pulled down to 4.98 now, from 5.13 or 1.8 or whatever it was. Now it went up to 498, 99. So that's what it's drawing. Now she's up to 5 volts, but she's still drawing 1.6 amperes. 0.16 amperes. In other words, 160 milliamps. The 0 here, and then the decimal points after the 0, so it's 0.16 amperes. 160 mils at 5.02 volts. Right now, she's gone up a little bit. We're going to go up to here. I got to discharge myself here. Alright, I'm plugging it in. Let's measure the voltage. 0.20, 0.3, it's changing voltage. 489, we know that there's under 5 volts in this jack. 0.35 0.35 amps, so that's 350 mils. So it seems to be drawing a lot more current off of Windows 7 than it is off of Windows XP. Right now it's not clicking, and I'm on 7. But it's drawing 350 milliamperes right here, 0.35 amperes, or 350 milliamperes at about a third of an amp, in other words, and 4.75 volts at the jack. A lot of my computers read just a little under 5 volts, so this meter could be off. It's very hard for me to read the voltage of these things because I'd have to cut up one of these cords and stick my meter on them, one of my digital meters in the shed, not the Harbor Freight, but the good ones, and measure the voltage that way. But I'm not about to butcher one of these cords up. But you can see it's 4.79 volts and 350 mils, or 0.35 amperes showing. So it draws more. Am I in camera? It draws more off of Windows 7. All right, I think we beat this thing into the ground here, so to speak. Thanks for watching. Did you know that the word testify derived from a time when men were required to swear on their testicles?